You put
Thanks.
the honey in?
Yes, I'll put honey in. You have to check those tyres before you go to work too. Remind me.
Over the years, Robert and Patricia Earle have moved further and further out from inner Sydney as the rents kept rising. Now in the outer suburb of Ambervale, they are just making ends meet.
It is a struggle to meet, that's why I'm still working, yeah. So when I give up work, it'll be a very big struggle. But I am getting too old to keep going.
Robert was forced out of a job 9 years ago and hasn't been able to find work since.
Who's going to employ a guy at 66 when he walks in with a pronounced limp? It's just not going to work. You know, I tried a couple of places, but didn't get anywhere. So I just resigned myself to the fact that I'd have to retire.
To afford the rent, Patricia works till midnight at a deli.
Right, I've got to go.
It's a 2-hour round trip. She's 71 and not as healthy as she looks.
I start at 3 o'clock and I finish at midnight, so I don't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning.
I worry all the time about her driving because she gets very tired driving and I think it's a bit dangerous. I'd like her to give up work because I can see just how tired she is. But whether we can stay here or not, I don't know.
Analysis of data from the Australian Department of Social Services shows a 50% jump in the past 5 years of people 65 years and over in severe housing stress.
These are the areas with the highest numbers of people, so the areas of the darkest shading.
Dr Debbie Faulkner from the University of Adelaide has been crunching the numbers for New South Wales as part of a 5-year project looking into the housing crisis facing pensioners.
In New South Wales, there are over 32,000 households that are paying more than 30% of their income in rent, and of those, 9,000 that are paying 50% or more of their income in rent. This situation is everywhere and growing. In Western Australia, there's about 7,000 households in housing stress. In South Australia, there were about 6,000 or 7,000. Victoria, I think it's around 15,000. So in each state, it's considerable.
So, how have you been?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Picking up day by day, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's really hard. Because he's only been gone like only 3.5 weeks, so.
June Hope's husband died a month ago. Unable to afford the rent without him, she had no choice but to move out of their home. At 68, June is now technically homeless.
So how much maximum rent do you feel you can afford?
No more than $250.
$250?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, out of all of these, there's only one property becoming available in this area that's within your affordability.
She can only stay at her sister's for a few weeks, so Gail Puckeridge has the urgent task of finding her a new home.
Well, I'm just coping. I haven't grieved yet because I haven't had time with moving and trying to find another place and moving all my stuff over. I can't sleep of a night, you know. I'm in despair a bit. I had to give all of his stuff away because I couldn't bring it here. I had nowhere to put it. And that's very distressing to me because he feels like he didn't exist.
Everything June Hope owns is packed away in the back garden shed.
How much of your stuff is in here?
Well, I've got the fridge and the washing machine, table and chairs. That's the only room I've got.
So when you move into a new place, what are you going to have?
Well, I'll have that and I'll just have to start again.
In New South Wales, the minimum age to get automatic priority public housing is 80. That's 11 years away for June Hope.
It's quite ludicrous really for people who have to reach the age of 80 before they're eligible for priority into the public and community housing system. We really want to see that lowered to a more reasonable level. For example, the Victorian government this year has reduced the priority for older people down to 55 years of age, and we think that's a standard that should be rolled out across the country.
The New South Wales government has defended its approach, saying anyone of any age who is in urgent need is assessed for priority housing, with 63,000 tenancies allocated to people aged 55 and above.
5 and 8, 58.
But Jeff Fiedler from the Housing for the Aged Action Group wants a specific service to help older people under housing stress.
In New South Wales, there are 300 homelessness agencies across the state. There isn't one service that's specialist for older people. We believe this is a really critical thing that's required and should be funded by government.
If you've got any questions, give me a call.
Take care.
All right, bye.
How's she going?
Considering their circumstances, as well as can be expected. She is struggling though.
Yeah, so is this place that you're looking at now going to be all right for her?
No, not really. It's probably the best of a bad bunch. Realistically, to get a suitable property for most of my clients, it's around about that $300 mark, which well exceeds their affordability. Where June was, she was paying $365 a week. That's over 70% of her income.
Are you confident you'll be able to find a place?
I'm not very confident because I can't pay a lot of money for rent each week. I can only pay like $250 a week. Well, you won't get much for $250 a week.
Well, I do worry about where I'll live if my husband does pass away, because it would be miles too much rent for me just to pay out of my pension when I retire. So that's a really big worry. Every day I'm going to work, I'm thinking about it.